are back with my second guest, Cindy Sham. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
And Cindy is a permanent makeup expert. We are going to talk about how to prepare for permanent makeup.
Yes. And are you ready for a change?
Well, yeah, maybe I am, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
If you go to your bathroom in the morning and you look in the mirror and you just about scream, or your doorbell rings and you're looking everywhere for your eyebrow pencil in a panic, then you're probably
Ready for it.
ready for a change.
Yeah.
The things that you have to think about, first of all, we talked about in my first segment how to select an artist. The 3 questions you should ask before having permanent makeup.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, how to select? Maybe we'll go over it
Yes,
pretty
the
fast.
first thing you should ask is, how long have you been doing this? The second thing should be, what is it that you're putting into my skin? The third question should be, can it be removed?
So, okay, so if I ask these questions and I don't know what the answer should be, so how I know what they're telling me is what I need to know?
By listening to my first show.
Here you go. Well, we're going to give them really run out then. We need to give them that, what you told us about, in case they, taking the time to go. Can you remind us a little bit about that?
Well, those were the questions. And if you ask those questions, and then you know you have a qualified artist when she answers the questions correctly. If they're not doing it longer than 5 years, they are considered not an expert. There's many procedures that you cannot even be insured unless you've been doing them 2 years. The second question, what you're putting into my skin. Tattooing pigments are not suitable to put into the skin, only pigments. They're too concentrated and there's a high allergic reaction on the face. No tattooing company will endorse facial use of tattooing pigments. So, or tattooing inks. You must use pigments.
So the first one is how long you've been doing it.
Yes.
If
the
it lasts
second one is,
2
what
years,
are you putting into my skin? It must be an iron oxide. It must be a pigment.
Okay, it must be.
And then can it be removed? Actually, any removal process is going to compromise the skin. So I would tell you, once you make the decision, you must live with the decision.
Kind of for life and...
Yes.
Kind of for life.
That's what you have to think when you prepare to get permanent makeup. Yes. You must be prepared for this.
So who you're giving your face to, right? Who you're
is really important.
trusting.
This is like plastic surgery.
Yeah.
You're changing your facial features.
Okay. One is there basically. Some people might be able to take them off, but you're saying some people might have reaction.
And then
to
if you try to put it back on again, you might not have the success that you might want.
Is it will matter in age? Like, for example, if she's 20 years old, she wants to have a tattoo, eyebrows tattoo. When she gets 50, is that gonna change?
Oh, yeah.
She should start at that age or wait?
Well, now the younger generation, I used to have clients, they were probably from 35 to 60. Now I'm getting clients that are from 20.
Wow.
18 is the legal age, and I do have some that are 18. But it depends on who you go to, because it's extremely important that you don't take an 18-year-old and overdo this 18-year-old, because she's got 60 more years to live.
Change her face,
and her
right?
Yes,
her
and
features gonna change.
Styles change.
Yeah. So,
and
but
a
when
young
we get
person
older,
doesn't think the same as an older person.
And you need to be careful. So if you're young, you think about your future, how you're gonna look later, or the style might change. Would you recommend anyone to go, like, for example, the eyebrows were so popular to be thick when I was young, right? And then they start to be thin, and then everybody wants to follow that. But when you're doing tattoo, a thick tattoo, you can't change that.
I would like to tell you what to expect.
Okay.
Okay. When you immediately get your permanent makeup done, it actually looks subtle compared to clown makeup. This is true. But within a few days, you don't have to worry, because within a few days, the skin looks normal again. And you may ask me today, if you look straight at my face, why do I have makeup on one side of my face and not on the other? And the reason is because I want to let everybody know that this is not how permanent makeup looks. It does not look like this. Permanent makeup, I have nothing on this side of my face. This is what it should look like.
Wow, I hope the camera is getting closer
Very
to see.
subtle,
Yeah.
because it has to last my entire life. If I'm in the bathroom, like I said, and
Yeah.
the doorbell rings, I can run to the doorbell.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like I look like a clown because the makeup was done properly. It shouldn't look like this.
It shouldn't look like
shouldn't
that.
look like a clown. It should be very soft and similar to the skin
Just
tones.
enough, just enough
Just
to.
enough, and then you just add slightly, all I've added
As
today,
needed.
little bit to it,
Yeah.
and now I have tone on the surface of the skin, because permanent makeup fades through time. It does fade. This is
And
what
then-
you have to expect. It's
And
going
then
to fade.
also, as we age, you were telling me one time that our features changes, no, and fade a little bit. You don't have that.
Intense,
Intense,
you don't
yeah.
have the young, like your lips are not defined. So you look in the mirror and you see that your eyes are disappearing. You have no brows. You can't even draw them on straight anymore. And they're waxy from the pencil. So there's no other answer except permanent makeup to replace eyebrows. Everybody loses their hair
But
in
be
their
careful
eyebrows.
not to look like clown. That's
This
important.
goes along with the first one, selecting the correct person.
The person. Okay, when we
Yes.
come back, we are going to talk even further on about the subject.
We can talk
It's
about
very important.
each area.
Yes, each area. So it's very important. We will be right back in a few moments.
Peter is a businessman. He was worried about his business. He was thinking about its growth day and night. One evening, after a long day at work, he searched the web for some help. Next day morning, he received a call. Our creative team then visited him. We helped and launched him a new campaign. Our campaign made him a business star. A day-by-day new clients come. Now his business is growing fast. We keep showing him a leading light. A light made his business bright. Now Peter is happy with his business life. His wife is having now happy life. Are you worried about your business life and wish you could be like Peter's life? Then visit us today for more information. We intelligently help your business soar to the top and stay there.
And we are back with Cindy Sham talking about permanent makeup. And if anyone can talk about permanent makeup, is Cindy. How long have you been doing this?
2 decades.
2 decades, okay. A lot of experience. And I know you're not just, you teach as well.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes, I certainly
Okay.
do.
And how long have you been teaching for?
Well, I'm actually a certified teacher, which means that I'm a trained teacher. I was a director of education in a beauty school for 18 years. So I actually supervised all of the instructors. So I
Nice.
know exactly how to
What
lesson
you're talking
plan.
about.
Yes,
Yeah, well, we're
it's a
talking
different
about,
type of
we're
teacher.
talking about experts. Okay, we have an expert here. Well, I wouldn't have you here if I don't believe in you really. And okay, so let's talk more about the fading part and the coloring and
What
all
to
that.
expect.
Yes, what to expect.
Okay, like I said, when you first get it done, you feel almost like a clown for a few days, but then it lightens significantly and you feel more normal. But the ease of putting on your makeup is unbelievable. It's remarkable because now you just go in there, takes 3 minutes, and you're out of there. You can go. Before, you were trying to put on all these cosmetics and you expected something to look good with no map to follow. So now you have a map to follow once you have permanent makeup done. The other thing you must expect is right after the procedure, you'll find that you'll get a little scabbing and a little crusting, and there'll be a little swelling. This will go on for about 4 or 5 days, and then that'll all calm down. Within a month, you have to expect to go back. It's a layering process. It is a procedure that takes multiple applications to achieve what you want. And that goes back to the reason the pigments are so sheer, unless you get in the wrong hands and they select the wrong colors for you. Like your eyebrow color would not be suitable for me.
somebody,
I
okay.
would not expect to have, with my color tones, to come out of a permanent makeup studio with eyebrows as deep as yours.
Yeah, yeah, and you've done a great job on mine. So
Well, thank you.
Here
But
we
I-
go. We let the secret out now.
But you have to
Yeah.
expect at first
Yeah.
that it looks a little too strong.
It makes it easier because it's like you said, you follow
A
the
map.
line.
You
Yeah,
have a
follow
map.
the map. Yeah.
You have a
yeah.
plan in mind. So after the swelling and the little scabbing comes off in a few days, then it's significantly lighter, but it doesn't really develop color till day 14. So you may think that you don't have enough, but it develops. And like I said, it is a process, and it must be done in a very careful way, because too much is almost impossible to remove and it's extremely expensive.
And that's it. You're stuck with it. For
You're
life.
stuck with it. You can be stuck with it for life, some of the mistakes. It's
Yeah.
disastrous.
Wow.
So that's untrained, unqualified teachers.
unqualified, yes,
That
yes.
are creating these little monsters.
So what
But
happened if you do it too many times? What happened to your skin?
the skin, if you overwork the skin and the skin becomes scarred, the skin doesn't accept color very well.
Oh, so it could reject the color.
It won't go in, it won't hold color.
Wow.
It'll go in right away, but it will not hold color over a period
Is
of
it
time.
because every time you're putting in, you're putting
You're layering, but you've
layering.
got scar tissue. So now you're looking at color through scar tissue. Before you were looking at the color under the surface of the skin. Now you're looking at it under thick scar tissue, so you're not going to see it. And it tends to leave the skin faster.
So what happened to the new generation? They're starting at 18 and 20 or 25. What's going to happen to them if they continue? Because they have to follow
They'll
up every
be
year.
fine as long as they do it in a very minimally.
Okay.
Okay, the colors are very pale. They do very minimal things to themselves. Like if you notice last year and the last few years, we've had these big dark cat eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very drastic mistake.
Especially
for a
when you're
young
young.
For a young girl. And it is
Yeah.
a drastic mistake anyways, because you should be enhancing features. You're not trying to create trend looks.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been tattooed for 20 years, and I have no problem with any of my skin.
So you could have it, but you have to know how to maintain it.
You have to
and
maintain
how many
it.
times you're doing it.
It'll last probably, now each area is a little different. Each area will exfoliate at a different rate. Lips are very dry. Lips exfoliate. They don't last as long as some of the other procedures.
So
The eyebrows
what
also
lasts-
exfoliate fast.
So what
I would
lasts the
say,
most?
I would say, let's say you had your lips done. About yearly, those lips can be touched up. Every couple of years, they can be touched up. Or let it all fade till you can't hardly see it, and then start over again.
I thought
Because
it
the
doesn't
first
fade
time, it always
completely.
takes twice. Some of it never
Some-
goes away.
Okay, but I mean, the lips maybe goes away completely?
The lips will go away because of the exfoliation, and they move
Okay.
around all the time. The muscles underneath the eyebrows and the skin on the forehead is more porous, so it exfoliates
Okay,
faster.
you see the
It's
difference?
also exposed to the sunlight all the time.
Okay.
So it's a different area. The eyes seem to last the longest, and that's because there's very little movement. There's very little exfoliation.
Okay, well, I mean, thank you so much for this information. It's like amazing.
I want to
mean,
help. I want to help people
Yeah.
not to go out there and have a mistake that they live with the rest of their life.
And also, you're a great teacher. I mean, you will be giving all the wisdom you learned. I heard you learned from someone.
Oh,
a
the
very-
great Patty Pavlik. She was almost like one of the forerunners She was one of the ones that started this, and she started the National Cosmetic Tattooing
you learned
Association.
from
She had
her.
the first one, and that's
Okay.
who I learned from.
That's nice. That's nice to know. So if you're interested to become a tattoo expert or you want to have tattoo done, now you learned what you need to look for, who you need to learn from. Cindy here, and then also people could learn from anywhere. They could travel and come here and learn from you. Is that correct?
This is correct.
Okay. Can you please give us your website really quick? In this camera right there?
CindyShum.com.
Oh, that's easy.
That's easy.
Okay, nice. Well, Cindy, thank you so much for coming again on the show.
Thank you again.
I always feel blessed to have you and appreciate you. And also for you, if you like to learn more about all of the segments all of the experts that I interview, please go to akexpertstv.com and you could watch all the segments. And there is a lot to learn there. Until next time, please stay focused on your purpose.